I'm Shubi. I'm going to introduce the game for my team. My team member also have the Tom and Lou. Our game is a 3D platformer game which have character have a special ability, can shoot a projectile and then freeze them as a platform. So our initial inspiration comes from the white box I made while we have in the planning stage. So it's a character you can shoot part of yourself out, then your size will decrease a little bit. Then you can freeze the projectile while it's moving, and then you can use it as a platform. And each time when you shoot a new projectile, it becomes smaller, and then you can use that part as a platform to get through the big gap and other kind of challenges. And also, you have the ability or option to take back your all the platforms you already make and then restore it into a normal size. So that's our initial design. So because in the discussion, everyone presents their ideas. This is the final one we choose because it sounds really cool and interesting. And there's um, lots of change we make during the process because of time or other reasons. We have a very detailed documentation in the document we submit. We can have the comparison on the original design and the final design. So I'm just going to introduce our final game over here. So like I said, our game is a 3D platformer with a character have a special ability, so you can shoot a projectile, then left click to shoot, and then while it's still moving, you can use right click to freeze the platform, the last one you just shoot. So you can have the multiple one at once if you do that quickly. And also after a short time, the platform will disappear. So that's the basic and most important mechanics in the game. And you can see we have four kinds of projectile here. So it's neutral, electric, ice, and fire. Each of them have different characteristics. And for neutral, it's just a normal one. And for electric, which is most move faster than others. And then we can also trigger some device we'll later see. And the ice is the slowest, so it's good for you if you want to position your platform precisely. And fire is able to interact with other physical objects, maybe like this one. So you can push the stuff that blocks your way. And the things I just connect is a key. If you have to connect three of them to unlock the door. It's a red one, orange one, and also the blue one. So this is a third one. So blue door open, we can pass through that. And this is the second red key. We have to jump through that. I also noticed like those platforms do have some special material. If you see those kind of material, this means like you have to use your special ability to get through that. Okay, so that's third one. The red key open those kind of big doors. Let's jump through that. Okay. So if you do fail, we have some hidden checkpoint, so it will take you back. And another feature I didn't mention is for now, if you just click on your left mouse, you will just shoot horizontally. But there's an option given to you if you hold down your shift, then you can shoot into the direction you want. For example, I use those weird direction. And also, like I said, the electric projectile can trigger some device, and this is the one. See, like there's a green gate. After you hit the button with the electric projectile, it will open the gate for you. So let's close it and reopen that, so we can get through that. We can clean the stuff blocking our way, and then jump to another area. And this is also challenging that requires to do the vertical multi jump. I'll try again. You have to freeze the platform carefully. Okay, second key. We need the last one. Let's clean the stuff first. Jump. So we reach the another area, which also requires us to find a key for this beat block. Also, if you are really skillful enough, one thing you can do, you can just always jump in on your platform and then make a brand, make a bridge yourself. But this requires you have really skillful and it's really hard to jump. And also because I put all the checkpoint on the platform you stand on, so you have to, if you want to do in this way, you have to make sure you have no mistakes making during the process. Okay, that's too hard. Let's just try the normal way. Okay, get another blue key. Now we're going to get that red key. And there's two other keys to open that door, so let's get them. We also have to jump on this moving platform and get rid of the stuff blocking our way. Okay, so this is a button for the middle gate. We open that. We have the second key. Let's go back and take the last key so we can open the door. Okay, now is the final stage for level. You have to reach the platform with the human sculpture. That one. Okay. And also another hidden feature we have is if you use the ice block, you can freeze those platforms if you want. Okay, it's ready to end over here. Let's just try non jump. Oh, okay, freeze it. Jump over here. Freeze it. Okay, that's a little bit hard to hit. We just jump over there. Okay, last one. Oh, let's freeze that when it's at highest point. Okay, that make it a little bit easier. Freeze it. Okay, so our final jump, which requires you skills you already learned during the process, which is step on your platform. Okay, let's try again. And that's is our level. So you can see it's still although there are some like parts we can improve. For example, like the when we see our catcher spawn, the direction is a little bit weird, and also some like levels are do have some issues which not have a really clear path back. But I think we overall have a really good job, really um, completely playable levels. So that's our team's work.
I'm Tom, and I worked on the programming for the game. Things like the procedural character animation, where the character's height is scaled based on a sine wave, and their vertical velocity, and things like particles that appear when they jump or land. They can throw projectiles that can be converted into platforms, and there's multiple types of projectiles, each with their own uses and abilities. There are also force fields and gates that can be opened through a combination of keys or buttons. The references are easy to set up, simply selecting a key and then using the object pick tool to assign a reference will create that relationship instead of having to edit the blueprint code. The default state of buttons can also be assigned using a checkbox. Player projectiles can interact with different objects in the level, some being able to trigger buttons, others being able to push physics projectiles. The fire projectile creates an explosion that launches physics objects, letting the player remove obstacles. The snow projectile lets them stop moving platforms, and if the player holds shift, they activate free aim mode, which lets them throw projectiles in any direction. Normally they are constrained to the horizontal axis to aid in platforming. When the player right-clicks, they freeze their last spawned projectile, allowing them to reach new heights and traverse the level in new innovative ways. There is automatic respawning, where if the player travels below a certain Y level, it will automatically be teleported back to the beginning. And there are also objectives that the player can complete and checkpoints that will modify the location they will return to if they respawn. The player can also manually initiate a respawn by pressing R. Here we can see the key mechanic, where if the player collects 3 keys, the large gate opens. And different buttons might require different projectiles to activate. For example, electric gates can't be activated with the normal projectile, but need the electric projectile. Some gates also slide down. The blueprint code is commented and well organized, so it is fairly easy to understand what is going on.
Hey, this is Yan Hong Lu, and here I'm going to present my works for CGT 555 this semester, the final projects to be exactly. So I'm mainly in charge of the art aspect of the final project, so the concept art, of course, and then also the making the prop, the 3D models for the scenes, and also like keep the overall visual consistent. Well, yeah, that's probably everything I did. So first, let's start with the concept. Okay, so this is the concept art I created, basically. If you can see my mouse, I don't know if you can see my mouse actually, but you can see it. Yeah, this is the concept art. It's pretty rudimentary, pretty simple. Yeah, but just like going down the vibe, it's a little bit dark and creepy, but it also has a lot of like a metal element, so I cannot really see much of the metal element because I really did not spend too much time on creating these concept arts. And you're not going to see this UI elements later on in the game because we decided, well, we really don't need this UI elements, so we are not going to really need a distance from the goal, don't need a scoreboard, and then we don't really need a manual anyway. Yeah. Okay, so this is just a concept. Other than that, let's go to the Maya. So this is the second part of the work. Is just like all the props that is being used inside the final projects. For example, these are the gates and the switch of the gates, and you can see that all the UVs were laid out. And you may like wonder like why there's a lot of overlapping in the UVs, because I think that's totally fine. We're just like creating not like a super well detailed like a model that requires a lot of like textures and for example like some really like a high detail texture. No, we're not gonna need that. It's just like overlapping UVs, but making the texture looks pretty nice on each of them, especially repetitive textures. Also, these are also all unfolded. Yep. And props 2. Say, yeah. So here are all the props as well. These are the buildings, and we also got a lot of like platforms, like the bridges, the round platforms, the box platform, some of the decoration in the scene. Some of them were supposed to be used as some obstacles later on in the game, but we decided eventually that okay, we don't have much time to actually make these obstacles, so we just like keep everything simple and nice. So a lot of them were not used, but they were nevertheless made by me in case that we may need them later on in the game. Alright, so all the models also pretty much like unfolded and done as well. The UVs, I mean. Right. So after that, then let's go to the main editor here. So this is the overall like the landscape of the map. Yeah, Shubin actually helped me like with like setting up a lot of the scenes here. For example, these buildings. He think that it would be cool to include some of these buildings like around, and I think that's pretty cool as well. And I decided to develop the map inside the valley, in between mountains, which are pretty cool as well. And of course, I'm the one, the creepy guy who decided to like include a bunch of like just like creepy skulls inside the scene. I think it's pretty cool. It gives this like a dark and creepy vibe, even though it's pretty shiny, like a sunny, and the daylight looks pretty nice. Yeah, the mountain looks really pretty, but then you got this like skulls laying around. Yes, that's the vibe I'm going for. Okay. And yeah, and you can see now once everything being textured, once this like text being applied to all the props, that looks pretty decent. It's surprisingly well polished, or better polished than I expected it would be. Pretty surprising. And you can see that there's like a, yeah, it's another part of the level. And I really like the gate, yeah, the feeling that okay, you are really going, once you go really close to the gate, and then it just like becomes enormous, like a gigantic, and once the gate start like this, like a door start rotating, it becomes super fun. Yeah, it's super cool. Alright, so that's about it. I'm not really going to do a game demo, because I think the gameplay demo will be done by Shubin, and he already demonstrated that during the class. I'm not going to repeat myself. Yeah, so that's about it.